But anyway, let me introduce you. So, welcome to you and madam. Welcome. So General Said Ghoneim is Egyptian, but he lives in Abu Dhabi. He is the chairman of the Institute for Global Security and Defense Affairs, based in Abu Dhabi. General Ghoneim is a visiting scholar and guest speaker to many security and defense institutions and academies in Asia, North America, and the Middle East. Among them in Europe, the Belgian Royal Military Academy, the NATO School of Ober-Ammergau, the NATO Defense College in Rome, and the European Net Maritime Awareness in the Strait of Hormuz in Marseille. About his military experience. During his long service in the Egyptian Armed Forces, his last position was Director of Planning and Operation, the Strategic Department level of the Egyptian Armed Forces. He was Senior National Representative of Egypt to the U.S. Central Command Headquarters, Tampa in Florida. He was also Chief of Staff at the UN mission in Nepal, and he was also took part to peacekeeping and humanitarian aid mission in the Western Sahara, the region of Western Sahara, and Rwanda. Ghoneim is the author of the book Fingers Art on the Triggers, which was translated in many languages. So, sir, thank you. I will introduce you what you will in your
So thank you very much, Major Bergman, and happy to be with you again. I'm not with you again, happy to be here again with you first time. Yeah, I came here actually for 8th year, about 9 times. The first one was War College, and we continued with Staff College. I will talk about the Middle East. I will talk about specific levels, which are international levels, rivalries, especially among the United States, China, and Russia, and also about regional powers, Turkey, Israel, and Iran, which will be in the middle, and some specific countries, especially, I cannot talk about all countries for sure, but I will talk about, very briefly about Saudi Arabia, Emirates, and Egypt. And then we'll talk about changing of security dynamics. The security dynamics will be related to Ukrainian war and Gaza war. So what happened after? And I will give you some points which really we discussed together. Mr. Ahmed is PhD candidate right now in defenses industries, and he will talk at the end of my talk somehow about Iran, about weapons, and what expectation from them related to Russia as well. So we discuss and we have daily briefing about Gaza, and somehow weekly briefing about Ukraine. We prepare them by ourselves. We have our own sources. And the good thing that I am like friend and advisor to some embassies in Abu Dhabi. So we have like brainstorming and we think together. So really, I will try to show you that all what I have is from our own perspective. It's not any somebody perspective. We try to talk in our own perspective. So you will find some things discussable for sure, maybe surprising for you somehow from what we get from our results, and we will see which is right, which is wrong together. So I'll talk about these 4 points, some rich slides, I hope. And please, you have the option, Major Bedouin, if you would like to interrupt me in the middle or to make answer questions at the end, it's up to you.
Okay, so I think at that time
Yeah,
to ask
so
a question at the end.
let me tell you the first course here. So I said, I was really tired, didn't sleep. So I told them something in the middle. We are in a democratic country, democratic society. So you have to decide if we can take break or not. And nobody asked me. Only 2. The Moroccan gentleman, he supported me, the one in 2017, and some other one. And then I had to tell them, okay, democracy is to go with the majority, but if you for human to go with a minority, because really I needed it. So please, what I will try to do this time, anytime you want the break, I will try to finish first, and then we go to the question and answers. But also, if you need some specific question, you are most welcome. And by the way, feel free to ask me anything, whatever you want. So you will find me almost as possible as I can. We will talk very frankly. Okay. I like this from David Patrius when he said this. I definitely agree with him. We are different from Las Vegas. We are different in the Middle East. Whatever we have inside will be outside. It will reach you. And I remember when I was given my first lecture in Japan, I told them, I know that Nippon, which is the name of Japan in Japanese language, I think my Korean friend can know that. So Nippon, that the place with the sunrise. But I told them sunset is not here. It's also in the Middle East or the United States, and so you have to see the problems on the other side, otherwise it will come to you. Okay. How we think about the United States. We think that there is a grand strategy, liberal hegemony. There is no strategy named liberal hegemony, no. But we think this way. It's inserted in our minds that the grand strategy of the United States is liberal hegemony, to dominate that all over the world. That's why I make question mark, is to try to wrong. And then we believe that if the United States have values, have a project, so it is same like European countries, like Korea, like Japan, like Taiwan, it's based on values. So we call it value project, the main. If I compare with China, for example, it's more national project. If I compare with Russia, it's populism project. I hope from this comparison, this is how we understand it, how I understand it my own way. And then the mechanism, there is offshore balancing. If somebody maybe read about it, if you didn't read about it, please read about it. It's very important because my slides will be based on this one. And also leading from behind from Obama, which is more important now in the Middle East, but now the United States cannot lead from behind. Now it's involved with much. So lead from behind was 2015, National Security Strategy at that time, but now it's coming to be changing. Yeah, leading from forward, not behind. And there are different initiatives like Greater Middle East, like QUAD, if anybody heard about QUAD, which is based on free and open Indo-Pacific initiative or a strategy. So I see it this way. We have United States, we have Russia, we have China, big powers. Whatever, we know China is much weaker even now if I compare with the other two big states. If you notice the red balls, and you will find blue balls. And from here, the first dimension of offshore balance. So we have in the Middle East, we have Iran, red ball, we have Cuba in Latin America, and we have also Venezuela, for example, right, the red balls. And if you see now, we have blue balls, like we have, if you allow me to say, it's like Taiwan, like Korea, like Japan, we have Ukraine as well. GCC, let me make it green balls now, more. Not very blue, but green balls. I will tell you what I mean from that. So one of the main dimensions of offshore balancing, even China thinks this way, Russia thinks this way. I am from this side, you are on this side, but how can I tease you in your education? How can I irritate you? So with these blue and red balls, we can do something. And in the Middle East, which is the middle theater, so how can I make red balls for myself as China and Russia, and how can I make some countries blue balls for me as United States and Europe? I hope you got my point in this. And here, the United States is trying with its radiation to affect, from its location in Europe, in the Middle East, and in East Asia. Then, notice here something, there's some triangle. This triangle is what? This is the second point of offshore balancing. We find here, okay, on the right, the Far East, and the left, or the base of the triangle, in the left we find Europe. And the head of the triangle is Gulf states. Notice something. Why triangle is like this? This is how I see it. Because the biggest castles of industries all over the world, on this right one and left one, in East Asia more than Asia itself, Central Asia, for example, and also in Europe for sure. Your countries over here, big industries. But those industries, they have to be operated. How they can be operated? They will be operated by energy, right? Yes, for sure, the European countries, let me talk about before Ukraine, for sure, Ukrainian war, I mean. So you depend more on your way, around even Russia and gas and so on, oil. But anyway, it comes now more to the Gulf. So I can say that the Gulf, and that's why it's one of the pillars you will see to Saudi Arabia, OPEC Plus. So the Gulf is a source of energy to support the two castles of industries in East Asia and also in Europe. So if I'm United States, I can have some mechanism, automation, to be, let me say, managing, coordinating, controlling the energy of both, though I can control somehow. I can maintain the balance my own way. And that's why when we say, why energy with oil? Because I can print oil, dollars always. Then I have this money to just whatever I can print dollars, there is no inflation, right? Somehow. So this is how I see United States by my own way. And then you'll find here that I think 5 main strategic objectives to the United States in the Middle East. I'm talking about the Middle East. So first one, energy security. I would like, as the United States, to secure the energy to myself and to my allies. So that's why I have to be in the Middle East. Also, full support to Israel. We have many questions. Why United States support Israel always? We ask these questions. The supervisor of my second PhD, he is Nasrist. Maybe you don't know what does mean Nasrist, that he is, very fully with this type of nationalism against the West. Hate United States, hate Europe, and that's fine for him. And he answered me because Israel is one of the main problems in our region, so the United States support Israel to control our region. And I never believe that there is any country, the main goal to it, to irritate some region. Because if I would like to have influence here, to have benefits here, to make my strategy floating, very smoothly, so I have to make it stable. And this stability is my own way, my own automation, and it's not to disturb anybody, to irritate. It's not a war, but how to balance, how to make them balance in a specific region or some specific regions around each other. But that's what he said. But I believe that I think one of the main reasons that the United States and even Europe support Israel, one of the main, not the only one, is a political system. That's why Israel always says we are the only democratic country in this region. And you would like to implement your strategies in this region to get the benefits, to get the navigation routes and so on. So you need a democratic country to implement your system and to make it easy to go through smoothly in this region. So this is one of the reasons I think. Third, counterterrorism. That's why, United States forces are there. And next one, strategic competition among China and Russia, right? Because we compete each other, the 3 countries, and then freedom of navigation and protection of, this kind of strategic lines of communication and so, sea line of communications. And this is the most important item. This is the most important one. To me, I believe that approach and tools military supremacy across the oceans. As you are aware, 7 fleets, one of them still was demobilized, and now it's going to be full, which is fleet number 1. And from number 2 to number 7, the other 6 fleets, they are responsible to be spread all over the oceans around the world. And I believe this is one of the tools of the approach and tools to United States. Sanction and aids, carrot and stick, to use them, okay, according to the Constitution of the United States, maybe international law somehow, maybe some countries, they don't like it for sure when I'm under sanctions, or be grabbed by carrot for any reason, but this is one of the main tools as well. And then global space and cyber, which is very important. And when I talk about this, some of the branches, it's very simple. Not only internet, but I have my credit card, it's locked, so I cannot use it. So I have to go to Major Bedouin to help me give me money to go home. So that's how to control as well. That's why it's always, and we can notice that, in the Ukrainian war, how this kind of tool is very important and sometimes change what's going on in the ground very quickly. And globalization means as well. So the know-how technology, this is really very important. Yes, Swiss is number 1 all over the world now, as of right now, inflation. But United States is still in the lead, especially the G6 and maybe what after. And the competition between China and the United States is the biggest in that. But for sure we have Japan, Korea, Taiwan, working some other sides, especially this type of ships and so. But anyways, the know-how technology really is one of the tools which the United States and even Europe can use. Then I talk about China. China, one of the countries really astonished. We have to understand it properly. If I'm not wrong, if I believe that I understand China properly. So look at this word, common destiny of mankind. Something like you would. I remember China, they invited me in their conferences. So usually I talk about challenges and mistakes. So I told them one of the big challenges, mainly that you will want, which is common destiny of mankind. Nobody knows it. If you ask me, I talk about my vision. Anybody about nobody over everybody knows it. So please search about this common destiny, common values, common security needs. It's Chinese, and this I believe one of the advantages of this advantages, because this lets you feel that China is still live as a China, not as international. So if you want common to be Chinese, not common international. This is what I thought, maybe I'm wrong, but this is what I thought my own. And for the strategic project, if you remember, it's nationalist. If I compare with Western, it's more value. And then we have the third strategy 2003, national military strategy 2003 as well. And please, I would like to invite you to read. If you read my paper, which I sent to everybody, you will find links for some of this. And also China's Arab policy paper has been issued 1st of January 2016. Who is really interested in the Middle East has to read this one. And this is the only strategy all over the world for non-Arab speaking country issued in Arabic. This is very important. So global initiatives, they have 3 main initiatives. They have Belt and Road, they have global development and global security. Notice something. They think globally. But the source of the thinking is Chinese. Here is a different when I compare with the United States. I don't say this good, this bad, but this when you compare Chinese and European, Korean and Japanese, you think more globally, but not from inside, but internationally, of way of thinking. And I can say that they met when Xi Jinping himself said, I need three main problems, 3 main challenges, which is globalization, which is one pole, which is United States, as he believes, and also the third one, which is the non-democratic world, So if the United States, I believe I am the head of democracy all over the world, but I don't deal with other countries in democratic way. So that's why Xi Jinping start to think how to think this way, to use globalization in my sake, in my favor, and I think he succeeded in that in trade, especially. If you go to any Chinese embassy anywhere, you will find most of the car of the diplomats, they are Volvo, BMW, because they bought the franchise. This is one of the examples, right? So, yes, Volvo is Swedish, BMW is German, but now it's something like Chinese franchise. So they think this way. And also, they try, I believe that for, and they think that United States is uniball. I don't think so. I don't think so. Even Russia, they think the United States is uniball, one ball, I mean, all over the world is a one big power all over the world. I don't think so. I think it's something like, to be honest, it's pretending. Why? We have 5 countries in Permanent Security Council, the United Nations. We have vetoes to everybody. So we have also areas of influence. United States, yes, it has influence everywhere, but not same power of influence everywhere. So you find Russia sharing somewhere, China sharing somewhere, and I gave an example. I was giving lecture in Taiwan, and we were talking about soft power. And I asked them a question, if you notice something, why China is using soft power in our region, but using sharp power in South China Sea? And the answer is, not the power of China, influence. If I have influence in some region, I can use sharp power, like war, fake news, like if it's use fake news, like sanctions, whatever I have. But if I don't have influence in this region, I have to use soft power, including culture, loans, blah, blah, blah. So that's why, yes, you don't have influence everywhere. In the United States, you don't have influence. They are sharing here and there, and Russia as well. I believe one of the main goals of China is energy security. They are an industrial country. Energy is must, and no discussion about it. We need it, and we have to have it. In large economy. See, military here is not in the landing so far. Even it's getting bigger, but slower. Maximize strong relations, because even though China has internal strategic depth big, but not big enough for the population. Like if I compare with Russia, Russia is almost double size to China, and population of Russia is 1/10, 10 times to Russia, I mean. So in this case, I have to have external relations, especially I feel always I'm isolated in my place over there. Secure natural resources as possible as we can, because without natural resources, you have to buy from outside, and they depend on quick productions, small and big production, medium productions. Remember the word national security with Chinese characteristics. Always they think the main thing, rigid, it must be Chinese characteristics. Not Western, not American, not Arab, not international, Chinese characteristics. For them, I think economic partnership is very important. Notice I never say alliances. One of the main differences between China, one side, Russia and the United States, other side, the thing of government. The United States, Europe, and Russia, they believe much in alliances. China, never. They don't accept this word. Even Chinese tell me that. Why? This was their answer. Because alliances provoke other alliances. They believe it's provoking for war. So they don't like our competition, at least. I mean, like, now we have economic war. So they don't like this word alliances. Take it from me, even they say that to me. We never, but even in my second PhD, as I told you when I wrote Chinese alliances, no, please. It's wrong, right? In the time when you see the American values in national security of the United States, and even all European, also Asian countries who are democratic, you will find one of the main values, alliances. also culture. If I would like to approach one of the main to approach the countries which I need partnership with them, culture. And especially in our region, for example, Middle East, culture is very important. Like my culture, my way of thinking, my language, my religion. This is something very considered to us, and they understand this very well in their approach. Last one, military industries. It's increasing now, and maybe Ahmed will talk about this in this part. So military industries in China became very important. China was thinking late 27, 26, let me say, 2017, 2016, I'm sorry, how to approach our region militarily without any harassment. So they start to think about more peacekeeping operations, like before, to continue peacekeeping operations, military training, and spread military industries. It's big propaganda, deserve or not, that's not the issue. Really, they produce, and they try to spread their productions. Why? For specific reasons. Number one, it's a region of conflicts, so you need weapons, especially cheaper ones. Second, I know, I'm China, I know that the Russian weapon reputation is getting down, even before it went in war. So I would like to take the portion, not to give Europe and United States opportunity for Russia. Smart technology, for sure. I remember, if I go to Korea and ask them to give me this technology, so sir, just you can sell it. Won't give you the technology itself. China can do it. And this is very good for some regions. Russia, my best, to be honest. Very interesting. I believe one of the main convinces to not only Putin, when Ahmed was in Russia a few weeks ago, he was visiting the exhibition of weapons. And just he told me, I noticed something, General, that the Russians, they think and they speak, who better than in the exhibition, they speak same speech of Putin. Like Ukraine is ours, but what, so this will support me to tell you, I think some of the main convinces of Russia that if Japan and Korea, if Europe, United States, they believe more that the main power I have, main source of power is a human. So I think the Russians believe that the main source of power is land and natural resource. So that's why we are all military. Shouldn't be surprised that they suffer a lot of casualties in war just to take land. And it's also something related to the prestige. And this is related more to Putin, that he wants Soviet Union. And I think there is something inserted inside the Russian mentalities that we are always under threat. We are surrounded with threats. Those countries will kill us. That's why they believe that alliances is occupation, but when I take other country, it's my right because I protect my national security. They think this way. They think this way. So I'm not surprised about myself. I don't say, why does he do that? No, because they think this way. I think so. So I believe that they have specific pillars, which is natural resources, oil and gas, and they use it politically, as you are aware, and security-wise as well. And also, and you can feel it, your countries especially, nuclear weapon and military powers, which should be the second, right, all over the world. Space and technological power, active and very flexible diplomacy. You can find Putin, especially before the Ukrainian war, visiting some place, that direction for A, and Lavrov, his foreign minister, is visiting another one, B, which is opposite to A. And they can do very good job together in opposite directions. And also spread propaganda. One of the biggest fake news I have seen in my life. And I think you feel it. The biggest, castle or source of fake news, and this propaganda really it works. But I believe it works in short term, not in long term. Because in long term, it comes, and maybe I can explain that when I come into my speech. If I come back, I'm sorry. I believe something, mechanism really, it's very much my own, from my feelings, from my notifications. Case confronts strategy. How it comes? I don't have the same power for China. I'm Russia now. I don't have the same power of Europe. I don't have the same power of United States. So, like I give you an example how we thought about it. Like Ahmed and I, we are competitors to each other. I have $10,000. He has $10 billion. And we decided, him alone, I alone, to build same type of project, to fabricate cars. For sure, with his billions of dollars, he can be patient of, suffering this kind of loss for longer time than me. So what can I do with him? I have to make chaos for him to disrupt his strategy. And I have to be very smart and very professional working in chaos. So I think one of the really smart ways of Russia that how to be very professional to operate in chaos. This is my notification. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think they can do that. So when you confront Europe, European Union, when you confront the United States, when you even confront China and Central Asia, for example, so chaos is a very good environment to Russia, can work. But the other countries with big strategies, chaos is really big disaster for them. Second one, disrupt and then gain. And this is related to the first one. That's why I tried to make disrupt and then gain. Disrupt and then gain. And third one, accusing my enemy what I am committing. I noted that. How? We notice in our analysis that when Russia, especially what they call it official statements, declare some specific statement to condemn their enemy, that means they will start to do it. They will start to do the same one they condemned you. And this comes with a propaganda as well. It helps them in this. Notice that. When they declare, we will do that, it means opposite, they will not do it. When they say, we condemn our enemy, that he is doing that, that means I will do that. This in our notification as well. Also, exploiting the US and European mistakes and Turkish goal and Iranian even critical situation. So, all mistakes are done by United States and Europe. They can exploit very smartly and properly. And one of them, your values. One of them, it's not mistake, but it comes to be mistake in some specific part or level. How? That I can use it, so yeah, you do this here, so I can exploit it my own way. And even, I was in Helsinki before coming here. And I was at Russian border with border guards, and the captain who was responsible to receive me, one of the smartest I have seen, I liked him actually, and he taught me this word, like that. They exploit our values when what we are doing in our border. It was what my wife was with me, and I asked him, where can I take picture, where not? And he told me, no, please, this place don't take pictures. It's for the maybe refugees will come somehow. So we don't take pictures because the media in Finland are very free. So Russians will take it against us, even we are doing something humanitarian. So they really use it very smartly, this way. They exploited your mistakes and they exploit also the values of their opponents. So how they think in the world? I saw it this way. So in North Atlantic Ocean, they provoke. In North, they contest, and also this politic and this front line of NATO is contest as well. Mediterranean, contest with NATO, contest with United States, and also in Central Asia, contest especially with China. And Europe, we believe they divide, they try to divide. And division here is two things. Dividing inside each country, dividing Belgium, dividing French, you think this way, dividing European Union, and dividing between Europe and United States. Do you think on these three levels, how to divide? This is how I see it. And then opportunities in our region. Where is opportunity to take it? Where is opportunity to take it? Because Russia cares more, yes, about, they have resources, they can take it, but they think more about enemies more than allies. I was discussing yesterday some point that, okay, that NATO, European Union, especially NATO, they enlarge it, the places. Then I said, why Russia don't do the same? Even I said it before. I mean, why Russia, they don't build alliances, and they believe in alliances, and these alliances with specific Russian values to defeat Western values, and then they can enlarge. So maybe Belgium, maybe Poland, maybe will be in Russian side if really you succeed with your alliance to attract me. So here, if you would like to fight alliances, it's not fighting militarily. So fight alliances to have bigger and better alliances with your own values. And that's why I think we think more about the other alliances, how to protect myself from them, security-wise more, and economic, I have, how can I take reward and return from what I have of resources. I hope my points are clear. If any confusion, don't hesitate to ask me. So, alternative here, which is going on right now, I think, if I'm not wrong, they try to push France and take their positions, and I believe that one of the main reasons they are successful in that, two things. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe that. Number one, the French way, or the French methodology in this region, right? Second one, which was really easy to defeat it. Really easy to defeat it. And we'll talk about that right now. And also the mentality of the people of the theater, right? It's more inserted with populism, with enmity and hatred to the West. And that's why Russia was easy to enlarge more, and especially the way of leadership and governance on those countries. I believe that counterterrorism and extremism is one of the main objectives. Let's hear something. This is the only common goal between Russians and all other powers all over the world. Counterterrorism. This is the only one. Strategic partnership, yes. Military influence, they try to do that very importantly. And also attract investments from Gulf states. This is, yes, that's why opportunity, this is in our region. And high energy price through OPEC, which really irritates China in this way, right? It's good for Gulf countries, but not good for China. Here I would like to tell you something. Approach and tools military presence in specific areas, for sure, which in blue actually. And now I put here Turkey and Egypt for something happened with me. I was invited one day by some TV channels in Egypt. And the broadcaster, he told me, journal, who would like to talk about in Russia today in Arabic. It was written that President Sisi, it was in 2019, if I'm not wrong, or 2018, President Sisi, we could kick President Erdogan. They are meeting each other now, if you're aware. You know, in Eastern Mediterranean, that means as in our culture, we like that our president could snap him his neck like that, you know. So, but I was surprised. I have one of my colleagues, he's Turkish, retired Turkish colonel, and he was working for me when I was in Nepal, United Nations mission there. I called him to Turkey. I didn't tell him about this news, but I told him, if you have Russia Today in Turkish, or even any Russian news mention something between President Sisi and President Erdogan in the Eastern Mediterranean, please send me the perfect meaning exactly. And he surprised me. He found it. That opposite. President Erdogan could kick Sisi. Opposite. And I started to search why. My opinion is like this, maybe I'm wrong. I found one. If you look at, the pointer is not working. Anyway, Turkey, as you see, is a gray one with a flag, the white one with a flag of Turkey. Egypt is here, and the Mediterranean between us, right? The main biggest two shores coherent, Egypt and Eastern Mediterranean, Egypt and Turkey. Egypt is non-major NATO ally to United States, and its Mediterranean dialogue with NATO. Turkey is member of NATO. So, if these two jaws mean here the two shores, become very strong, whoever between them to pass safely or to pass very carefully, otherwise they bite. So if they are together, having good relations, and I am enemy of NATO, and I will never forget, Russia is good friend to Egypt. It's a good friend country, it's very friendly, but not allied to Egypt. It's very not sign alliances, right? So if I pass between these two coherent shores, maybe they will bite. So they have to hate each other always. And that's why I believe, this is my own opinion, maybe I'm wrong, that when Turkey and Egypt approach each other, two countries are in trouble. One of them will be clear that they are not happy, and one of them they will hide. The one is not happy is Greece, because of some gas, agreements in the Mediterranean, and one will hide a little bit, which is Russia. And see what Turkey has done now. They asked to join BRICS. Right. Honestly, my own opinion, BRICS is nothing. It's online, something like online to me, with all due respect. I'm talking about analysts. But at the same time, it's like a stage to talk to the northern part, we are the southern part, and to society, which is really good, and also maybe collecting money, funds from Gulf states. But anyway, when Turkey really asked you to do that, as Turkey wants to be a European country, Turkey is a member of NATO, Turkey is allied to the United States, so it's really something strange, but according to our analysis, it's not that fruitful or productive much. And that's why even if I talk about Russia more now, so they depend on Wagner Group, they depend on containment policy. What I mean with containment policy here? What's the difference between, in my opinion, China, Russia, and the United States when they are dealing with competitors, not them? So, if the United States dealing with two competitors, so they try to maintain the balance even by using power. Like what happened between Iraq and Iran, what happened between Iraq and Kuwait. So maybe they use power to maintain balance. In such reason among the two regions of the world. Russia, no. Keep China, let me talk about China first. They don't use power when they try to control problems, but they use reconciliation. I cannot manage. China, I don't like to manage this kind of fighting among countries, or to fight one to sake of balance, or to fight one for sake of the other. No, just contentment with reconciliation. Russia, no. Russia, keep on being enemies together. Suppose like, for example, Turkey and Iran, being competitors, don't like each other. But I can contain your relations, give them my benefit here. Russia, whenever they are in any place, like in Syria, they have to have the key. And any country would like to get in, come to me to believe it. And this is the way. And then, how to control this kind of containment, as I told you, among competitors. So it's not like the United States to use power to make it balance it, or to make it stable, not like China for reconciliation, but managing competition among them. This is how I think about it. This is black one's talking about cases. Now I go to down level, which is the traditional. Okay. Turkey, Israel, Iran, and Egypt. Actually, in Japan, there is some research. I was very happy, I was still happy that I'm part of that. How do you see our region? In specific thing. As I told you, United States and Europe, and most of the countries over the world, they believe that Israel is the backbone of the region, right? Democratic country, very good economy, very powerful armed forces, high technology, the strongest in technology, very good, it deserves. Okay. Japan thinks another way. You said what? Demography is the most important. They think this way. And they said, so we have giant, demographically medium or middle, and we have demographically dwarf. Giant, which is above 90 million population, medium between 20 and 90, dwarf below 20. And according to anthropology and so if you are medium country or middle country or dwarf country, you like to be willing to giant country demographically. And they give example with Emirates, with Saudi Arabia, with Qatar, why they are willing to Egypt more to take manpower to give this kind of support of doctors like my wife, for example, like engineers, instructors, teachers, and so on. Okay. And then they said, now let's talk about the giant countries. They found three, which is above 90 million. Egypt, Turkey, and Iraq. And what was the comparison among them, as you see? Number one, three countries are Muslim. So forget about Shia and Sunni here, which Iran is Shia. No, it's not the issue here. Number two, the three are historical and civilization. They have history, they have civilization. So it's good for culture. Number three, technology. No, Iran and Turkey is really much higher, right? We compare with Egypt. Number four, which is language. They found what? That Turkey is the only country, and some others, minors around speak Turkish. Persian language, Iran, only Iran, and some others small around. But Arabic language, 22 countries. This is number one. Egypt has about more than 30% of the population of all Arab countries. It has a very strong internal, what you call it, strategic depth. It's a big country, 1 million kilometers square. And it has the navigations, the Red Sea and the Mediterranean, it has Suez Canal. So, and it has a middle class. This, according to Japanese, a middle class still really huge middle class, strong, even though it's eaten by time, whatever the reason, but it has really very important middle class. So they think this way. So, and when they look at Israel, which is outside those three, right, they found one, that Israel is a dwarf country, it's very small internal strategic depth. External strategic depth is beyond. It's not around. Around, no. They have even peace treaty with Egypt, whatever, but now it's increased. But even before Gaza war, the relations with Arab is always, intense. It's not that good relations. Do you think, I'm talking about Japanese now, and then you say what? At the same time, Israel has two main threats, which is declared by Israel. Number one, that when the support of the United States and Europe will stop, especially the United States, when it will stop. If it stops, it will be a disaster for them. Number two, population. Now, we have Arab, Jewish Israeli, or even Arab Israeli, and they have non-Arab Israeli. They found what? That the Arab Israeli generations are increasing very much. If we compare with non-Arab, so maybe Israel one day will be melt in Arab society. This is a big challenge for them. So in this case, if really Egypt has the same features of Israel, whatever they are, so in this case, Egypt could be the backbone of the region. So Japanese thinks this way, and this is among them. That's why you will notice something. Please read about it if you like, if you are interested. You will never find, this is my opinion, Turkey and Iran provoke Egypt. You will never find that. Maybe problems of ideology between two presidents, like Turkey and Egypt, of ideology. That the Turkish president, we believe that he's Muslim Brotherhood. We are against this kind of political Islam and so. So anyway, but no harassment, in even Iran. I will tell you something about Iran. We don't have embassy in Iran, Egyptian. I mean, no Egyptian embassy in Iran. We have something like Shajik is a fair or something like that. I don't know how to call it. But if I go to Iran now as civilian, I'm retired, I don't need visa. Which means, but if any Iranian comes, he cannot take visa to Egypt. Means that they accept us to go and visit Iran. Right. So this is really important. And this is one of the types here. These three countries. Then I go to the next, rivalry. If I talk about Turkey first, it was something like try to use the Turkish language to see the countries which they have. Doesn't mean that they have the main language is Turkish, but they have the Turkish language among the language they use. And they started to have finally something like organization for the countries, speak Turkish and make it like organization. But the main goal of Turkey was with embassies in those Central Asian countries. Why I mentioned these Central Asian countries in these two slides? Because please, whoever think about Middle East, especially Gulf region, please, I noticed something. You always think about the Middle East and West. But I don't see really researchers or officers, especially officers, think about Middle East and East, especially Central Asia. It's very effective and important when you analyze, evaluate any situation in any country in the Middle East, especially Iran, Turkey, and Israel. I'm talking about the regional powers here, not the giant, the regional powers. Iran, Turkey, and Israel. Don't ever only think about west of them, but also east of them. It's very important to them. What you find in the yellow right now, which is, they call it Turkish word, I mean, Erdogan did it, by the way. These two yellow circles is something like influence of Turkey, they could spread. Israel, if I come to Israel think always stay calm and get gain. You try to stay calm and get gain. If you notice the names I give to the countries, I call the United States the strategists of wrong strategy in around the region. I call China superiority before rivalry. I called Russia opportunistic street fighter. And here I call Israel stay calm and get gains. We try to stay calm and get gains until 7th of October last year, which is less than one. We try to spread with Abraham Accord. We have peace treaty with Egypt, and we will try to enlarge it. Now we have Bahrain, we have Emirates, we have Morocco, we have Sudan. We had it in Egypt before, and now we will try to reach also Saudi Arabia, which is the green one. This is are the areas of influence we try to get. They never forget Central Asia as well for them. Iran, I call it the provocative arm. How much you hit, how much they really resist. We try to concentrate much in eastern and northern Iran, because Israel is around them and Turkey as well, and we try also with the Khorasan coming from Mediterranean Sea down to the Red Sea. So Iran tried to use Yemen as a window or bridge to the Red Sea. We tried Syria and Lebanon as bridge to the Mediterranean Sea. One of the main goals of Iran, I think, to which we have influence, is Egypt. It's very important to them. Why? Control total of the Mediterranean Sea. Second, to get access to Gaza Strip through Egypt. Third, to get access to the Red Sea through Egypt as well, and even through Sudan. And that's why it's one of the main goals. And what I'm sure about our country we are very aware of. So the red circles, they are things. And this, how we see the interception or intersection among, you can't imagine. That's why conference always there among these three confessions. Okay. I will jump somehow Turkey and Israel. I want to go here about how Saudi think, how United Arab Emirates think, and how Egypt think from my own